Good morning, 7th grade. How are you guys doing? I wanted to take you through the chapter, what are we on? Chapter 10? Let me look. Chapter 11, sorry. The periodic table of the elements. Now, a few things. You're going to have to excuse my, my camera abilities because sometimes I wiggle or the dogs get in the way so just bear with me. So, we are going to take a look at the beginning of the periodic table of the elements. First of all, hello. I miss all of your faces. Here's a quick picture of me from Saturday morning with one of my dogs. This happens to be Mumford. Actually, here. Mumford is right here. Right now. And if you saw some fur on the floor, that's because our other dog, Lucy, has some shedding issues going on right now. Mumford is an English Mastiff, and he is so sweet. And if you can see, he is so huge. So, let's get back to our periodic table stuff. Whoops, let me try this again. All right, let's start at the very beginning. What do the numbers on the periodic table mean? Well, we have talked about this before. The periodic table lists the elements in boxes, and the boxes contain the name, the atomic number, the chemical symbol, and the atomic mass. And remember, it has a period, not because there's just part of atoms, but because it's an average of all the natural versions of that element that exists on Earth. A typical arrangement for any given square on the periodic table looks like this. So you have the element name right here. Then you have the atomic number. Now this number tells us how many protons are in each element. The whole table is arranged according to the number of protons. So carbon is number 6 because it has 6 protons. And hydrogen is number 1 because it only has 1 proton. The chart of the elements, arranged by the number of protons in the nucleus of each atom of the element. That's what the periodic table is. But let's take a look at a few other things that we can find out about the periodic table of the elements. On the periodic table, you have rows, and the rows go from left to right. They are called periods. You also have columns that go from the top to the bottom, and those are called groups or families. You'll hear me talk about them using both terms. They are groups or families, but those two words mean the same thing when we're talking about chemistry. So I want to show you like some of the differences between periods and groups. Periods are numbered on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, but normally they're on the left-hand side of the periodic table, and you're going to see numbers from 1 to 7. Well, what do those numbers mean? Well, when you get into chemistry later on, it'll tell you how many circles or energy levels you have to draw to put the electrons in. Do you remember when we drew the example of the elements, and we drew a middle circle that had protons and neutrons, and then we drew other circles that had the electrons on the outside? Well, this tells you, all right, how many circles do we have to draw outside of the nucleus? For example, if we used hydrogen, sorry guys, if we use hydrogen, we'd only need 1 circle. But let me go back to this. Carbon is in the second period. So how many circles would I have to draw? 2. And that's right, because carbon has 6 protons. It also has 6 electrons. So the first circle that I draw around it, it would have 2 electrons. Well, but this one needs 6. So I need to draw a second circle. So that's why carbon is in period 2, because it needs 2 circles to hold its electrons. If you don't understand that yet, I promise we will keep practicing this. Let's look at families or groups. That is from the top to the bottom of the periodic table. You're also going to see numbers along the top of the periodic table. They go from 1 to 18 instead of from 1 to 7. 1 to 18. Well, what do those numbers tell us? Well, they tell us how many electrons are in the outer shell or in the outer circle. And right now, you don't understand why that matters, and that's okay. I think I'll stop right there and let's move on a little bit. And here's what I'd like for you all to do today. I want you guys to watch the video on the periodic table of the elements. That's all I want you to do today. Now, I do want you to get out a sheet of paper before you watch the video and take some notes. I want you to write down 10 things that you learn from the video itself, and then hand those in on this assignment on Google Classroom. And I'll tell you what, I'll give you Monday and Tuesday. So if you'll hand that in by the end of the day Tuesday, that'll keep you caught up. Okay? Well, you all have a great day and enjoy your chemistry video. All right, guys. Bye-bye.